So in this video, we are going to be covering the $96,000 agency and coaching blueprint and why most agencies just never get past that $30,000 a month mark. If you're new to the channel, I'd like to first off welcome you in. My name is Dorian Freilich. I help agency and coaches just like yourself scale to those big numbers at $100,000 a month with real systems. That being said, in this video, we're going to cover three main systems that you should obviously implement. And if you aren't already, that is probably why you're stuck in and around that $30,000 a month mark. So no further ado, let's jump into it and let's give you guys that sauce. So first thing here, I'm going to cover a couple of the organic, or I should just say traffic sources that most of you are probably running right now. And with that, I'll show you the real thing and the real way to direct traffic to your offer. So that being said, the first is always going to be YouTube. If you're not doing any sort of YouTube right now, you have a real problem because YouTube is great for building authority, right? I use YouTube. That's why you're watching this video. It's on YouTube. And what it's going to allow you to do is build authority and gain a relationship with your audience. And typically qualifies the people at most. Like the best quality people are going to come from your YouTube videos, right? Because it's long form. They have to sit there. They got to watch. Just how you guys are going to watch this video through is exactly what your type of audience is going to do with you. All right, so it builds great authority as well. We use this for retargeting. We essentially are going to use different ad strategies, which I will talk about later in this video. As well, helps you build authenticity and can bring in high ticket clients. Now, those are the pros. The cons, there's not too many of them, but the cons essentially are, it's hard to get views. You need to have valuable content. You can't just have 1 to 2 minute long videos. These have to be in-depth, real value, right? Things that your audience can take away and take some action and get some sort of results. As well, it won't work unless you pair it with other sources. So YouTube itself, you have to be driving traffic to your YouTube account through Instagram, through Facebook, ads, right? You want to drive traffic to it. That way people are going to see it, because it's not like you're a YouTuber where you do day in the life content and people are going to follow you for your lifestyle. Right? That's not the type of people we want. We want people that are buyers, right? So you have to drive the traffic to your YouTube. So that's the first organic traffic source. If you're not doing that, you need to start. The next is going to be Instagram. So I'm sure 100% of you guys are using Instagram. Again, it reaches the masses, right? It's great for connections. You're going to reach a lot of people, a lot of impressions. It's super easy to outreach to people like that. It helps you build authenticity. So again, similar to the YouTube, it's just you're going to be not doing long form, you're going to be doing short form content. As well, it brings in high ticket clients. Now, the cons, the downside to Instagram is your messaging has to be perfect, has to be good, or you're not going to have the right types of buyers, the right types of audience seeing your content, and from which you're not going to be able to sell anything to them. As well, you need to know how to not give away all of your information. So Instagram is not for the value. Like, you're going to give value on Instagram, but you're not going to give the in-depth as you would on, for example, YouTube, right? That's what YouTube's for. YouTube is to go in-depth to your real potential buyers and talk to those people specifically. Whereas Instagram is more or less to attract those types of buyers, like attract them in, right? But the type of content they listen to, type of content they like, and from there we can drive those people to our YouTube if we need. As well, you need to be active and consistent with outreach, with posting. You have to be consistent. If you're not consistent, or the organic Instagram is not going to work. TikTok, another one here. You reach the masses, helps you build authenticity. Typically what I see is a lot of people will go on Instagram first. They'll start posting on TikTok, because I don't know what it is. TikTok's more like that thing that no one really takes serious. So you go on TikTok just for enjoyment, like funny stuff, right? Something to just kind of ease your brain. That's where you get caught doom scrolling, right? But TikTok is not really meant for this type of thing, and that's why it's going to be not the greatest, and there's not many pros to it. There's more cons. Plenty of unqualified people are going to come to it. You're going to reach a lot of people. It's really easy to reach people, a lot easier than it is on Instagram. But with that traffic, you need to redirect it. If it's not redirected, you're not going to be able to do anything with it on TikTok. TikTok's just not the place for that, right? TikTok, people aren't going on TikTok to buy stuff. People are on TikTok just for self-enjoyment, sit there, and like I mentioned, doom scroll. Okay, so these are typically the organic things that people are doing. Now, with that, you are not going to get any sort of success right now. Don't get me wrong, I've seen a few people get success, but the reason I say that is because I recently had talked to a guy who had 130,000 followers on Instagram. Okay, we got on a call, was kind of diving deep. I want to see where I could help him. And from that, he told me over the last 3 months with his online business and 130,000 followers, he had collected $7,000 cash. And that is terrible. Like, that's just outright horrendous. How do you have 130,000 people and only making $7,000 amongst 3 months, right? So that's the problem with organic. Organic can work really well, but it takes a long time and a lot of dedication, right? A lot of times I see people just burn out beforehand before they even get to that success because it takes so long to get going, right? On the other side, on the flip side, right, we have paid traffic. So you'll be running your YouTube, but with that, we'll be running ads, directing them to specific videos, pushing them to a YouTube page where they can watch all your content, and from there qualify themselves, right? In the YouTube descriptions, that's where we have our CTAs and so on. But the real sauce, where all the real money is made, is going to be in paid traffic itself on Instagram and Facebook. Okay, so within Instagram and Facebook, we're going to have the ability to go direct to consumers, direct to the people that are in market, right? They're problem aware. They know that they want to solve this problem. They are looking for the answer to their problems. These people are in market, and that's how you're going to find them. So it's not organic where you're just posting, hoping that you're going to reach that one person, because organic goes to a bunch of unqualified people. And the paid traffic, you literally pick who you want to target, and we will target that specific person, like sniper-like precision, right? It finds the exact person for you, and with that, we're able to do, again, things like retargeting with constant engagement, keeping people engaged, get people commenting, get people sharing all your posts, and from that, it's going to go, viral itself. But not, when I say viral, I don't mean like, mega viral. I mean like it's going to get to the right people in that sort of sense. So it's going to reach a lot of consumers who are in market, looking to buy your services, buy your consulting, whatever it could be, whatever your offer is. They are going to be targeted with your ads, right? And with that, we can retarget them. So once they see an ad, they consistently see you over and over again with different videos, different content. And from that, it just starts to warm them up. And in which, obviously, we have a bunch of different ad strategies that the guys that are in my inner circle have access to. And from that, they also have access to myself, one-on-one chat, huge group chats with essentially, other like-minded people, agency owners, coaches, consultants that are winning in over $30,000 months. As well, we have 3 group calls every single week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And from that, they also get one-on-one coaching call. It's just me and them going over their funnels, going over their ads, going over stuff for their clients, making sure that they're giving their clients good results. Because at the end of the day, the better results you get for your clients, the longer you stick with me, right? So it just goes down the chain. As well, they have access to all the ad strategies, SOPs, everything in depth on how to scale their agency, scale their coaching business, consulting business, and not only that, make sure they're getting their clients real results. So the links for that will be in the description. Now, again, back to the paid traffic. We're going to bring in a lot of high ticket plus rev share deals. So the bigger guys, when we're talking the big dogs, we're talking guys that you're doing $15,000 deals. But not only that, you have rev share. You're able to get rev share from these people. And from that, it's not like a one-time payment and then you got to go find a new customer. We're looking to get 5 big customers, 5 people that you can work with. We're not looking to reach mass amounts of people and work with 20, 30, 40 clients. We want 5 solid people. And from that, you'll make a shit ton of money because you have the high ticket upfront setup fee. You can even have a reoccurring retainer plus a rev share. There's many different ways that we structure our deals. There's not really a one size fits all when you're talking to companies. You can't charge a small company that's just starting out the exact same and have the exact same deal as the big company, right? And it's just not how it works. So you got to have different things for different people. That way it's personalized. As well, it's very, very easily doable to scale past 100K a month. And that's why we run paid ads. The downside, you need a strategy. If you just go out there and try to run ads yourself, you are probably going to fail. You're probably going to waste a lot of time, and you're probably going to waste a shit ton of money, right? You need to have the right strategies in place. You need to have the right systems in place. You need to have a budget. You cannot run ads. I'm just going to test out $500. I'm just going to test out $1,000. That is not how ads works. You have to be committed, right? This is rich man's gambling, but we're not just gambling as if you put $1,000 on black and you got a 50% chance to win as well as a 50% chance to lose. We're very, very dedicated, and we had the right decisions and systems we had the right systems to make the right decisions in place, and from that we have a calculated risk. Okay, so we're not just going out there and wasting money. If you have someone like myself that shows you the ropes, shows you the strategies, shows you how to make profitable ad campaigns, then yeah, it's a calculated risk. It's rich man's gambling, right? And so from that, again, that is how you're going to reach the masses and scale past 100K using the paid traffic. Now from that, I want to give you guys kind of a representation of what this looks like. So when you're running organic, right, here's kind of what it looks like, okay? With the organic, let's say these are all your organic posts, okay? They're not the ads. We'll just consider these organic posts. You're posting. Now, you're going to reach the right people, but you're going to reach a lot of unqualified people. So what that'll look like is something like this. So there's a lot of unqualified guys in and around, right? Just say they're scattered around. And that's really what it looks like when you're posting organic, right? So you're going out there with this video, okay, it comes out and it reaches, all these people here, and they engage with your account maybe, or they don't engage, but there's a lot of unqualified, right? The same thing you post again over here, right? You're just collecting a bunch of unqualified guys, you bring them back, right? So yeah, you might be reaching some decent people, but the mass majority, it's like you're looking to win the lottery, right? With organic posting, you have to have one really good post to get you out there, but you don't know how long it's going to take to get that one post. So that's why we don't rely on the organic, and we run on the paid ads. And I'm not sure why that's all bleeding, but whatever. From there, essentially, you have the ads. Now the ads, what we're able to do is have sniper-like precision. So all these little red guys that are unqualified, we can essentially go around them. We don't have to hit these guys. We don't have to send our ad to them. So what we do, if you have the right targeting, you have the nice dialed-in pixel, we can go like this. We can go around here. We can collect these guys, collect all these guys, go over here, right? Get these guys. Let's dodge that guy. We don't want him, right? Come around, dodge, right? Grab some more. Come in here, dodge, and so on and so forth, right? Like, you guys get the idea. And we just gathered all those qualified people. We pretty much put our ad in front of all those qualified people. And what it allows us to do is start to bring in qualified book calls. From that, you have a very high show rate, because the higher quality person, the better they are at showing up to the call, because not only do they respect their time, they're going to respect your time, and they want to scale. They want to grow their business. They're not going to be the unqualified guys coming through saying, well, I don't trust you, or let me think about this for another 7 months, right? That's not what action takers do. That's not what people who have successful businesses do. They want to move forward, and they want to move with speed, right? So they're just looking for that guy who they think, that company that they think can take them to that next level, right? And that's why we're going to put our ads in front of those people. So every time you put out an ad, all it's going to do is capture the most qualified people and bring back those people and dodge the unqualified, right? Again, goes here, does the same thing, dodges the unqualified, and brings all of them back. So that is how that works. And from that, what we're able to do is we can start even taking these guys and redirecting them to our YouTube. And from there, that'll even qualify them a lot more, because they're watching your highest quality videos that take time, long format. So that is how the paid ads essentially works. Now from that, once you bring these guys in, what does that look like? What's your sales system? Okay, and this is the exact sales system that we use within the Inner Circle. I used it when I had my own agency, and it works tremendously well. So what's going to happen is you're going to have your Facebook form, right? So you're going to have a Facebook form, or you're going to have like a landing page. So we'll call it LP. You have a landing page where your form could be. From that, essentially what happens is once they fill out the form, you have to have speed to lead, or you're going to have natural decay with nurturing. Okay, now what is natural decay with nurturing? So when someone opts in, their peak interest is going to be the second they opt in, right? So day one, we'll call it, minute one. That is their peak. From there, as time goes on, as hours go on, as days go on, their interest starts to decrease. And with this particular image, it says after about 10 days, they have no interest. Realistically, I'll be honest with you, after a day, if you haven't got a hold of these guys, their interest, they've forgotten about you, right? They don't even remember filling out that form. They're down here, and now you got to treat them like a cold lead. You got to do retargeting. You got to do whatever you can to get them back and engaged, or else you're just going to lose that. So that's what that looks like. Their peak interest is within the first minute. After 5 minutes, it's starting to decrease and go down, 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 and down. And that's why you guys might get on calls and like, well, I didn't fill out a form, or like, I don't really care for this, right? Because you don't reach them at their peak interest. You reach them at their time of least interest. So how do you do that? Within the first 5 minutes, you need to call these people, okay? So call them up, and in the first 5 minutes, you will typically have a much higher a much higher answer rate. Okay, if you call them after 5 minutes, you will start to notice that people aren't answering, It's a lot of unqualified guys. And the purpose of that and the reasoning is because you're not reaching them at their peak interest. So it's really, really important that once you get them on the, once you have the lead come through, you get them on the phone at their highest interest. Now, once you get them on the phone, there is questions that you have to ask that don't make it sound like you are being selfish. You have to have purpose with your questions, right? You can't just sit out there and ask, what's your budget? Why do you want to know, right? When are you looking to start? Like, these are the type of questions that you can't be asking these guys. These are just selfish questions. Have you worked with someone like us before? Okay? The questions you want to ask, the questions that will drive action, and the questions that will get qualified guys to actually book that call is going to look like this. What's driving your interest right now? What's the biggest challenge you're facing with, unqualified leads or getting more booked calls in your calendar, right? What challenges are you facing with that right now? What would an ideal solution look like for you? Okay, so we're asking questions with purpose and intent. There's a reason why we ask these questions, and this is what's going to generate those qualified people, right? Typically, these types of questions, they're not going to generate anything, right? What's your budget? Well, you're not going to get anyone that's going to say, oh, here's my budget. You've never told someone how much you want to spend, right? You'll always tell them a lower number, and that's just human psychology. We're not going to tell someone, hey, instead of the $30 you're charging me, I'd rather spend $70. I'd rather just do that. Instead of charging me $10,000, can I give you $20? That's not how people operate. We're always going to tell you lower numbers. That's just humans. We're not going to tell you the highest number. So there's no point even fucking asking that question, right? When are you looking to start? People probably want to start. The reason you have it on the phone is because they want to start now. They want to fix now, right? But you've got to get that drilled in their head that they have to make the fix now. Or else they're just going to sit there and tell you, oh, I want to fix it now, but when it comes time, for the money, time for them to pay, they're going to tell you, oh, I'll just wait 6 months. I'll do it myself, right? Have you worked with someone like us before? Like, the information you're getting here is not going to get you anywhere, right? Now, I don't mind when people typically, after you ask these types of questions, then you go over and, you asked, have you ever worked with someone before? Because you can take that and spin it off, to get their sort of things like, oh, you've worked with other people before. How was that? Oh, it's bad. Why was it bad? Right? And you can figure out things like that are actually going to move the needle and help you in your sales and in the process, right? So once you talk to qualified people, you ask them the qualified questions, and you get them booked onto a call, this is the process of which works the best for the highest show rate, okay? You need to be hitting them on different channels. You need to be hitting them on email. You need to be sending out personalized iMessage. Yeah, blue text. You got to use your fucking phone and you got to do something. You can't just keep sending out the same automated text and SMS. So you have email, you have iMessage, and you have your SMS, they look automated and they are meant to be automated. And then you also have your calling, right? Your call reminders. And that's why we're calling people. You have to hit people on these 4 channels, 4 different channels if you want to see the highest show rate, okay? When you start to personalize things and do manual outreach within that process to the book call, you're going to have what we've seen, an 85% response rate, right? People are starting to engage at an 85% rate. So instead of a typical sending out automated messages and automated emails, you're only going to have like a 35% engagement rate. Instead of the actual manual personalized outreach, you're going to have an 85%. Now, what does that look like? With us, we send about 6 personalized emails per day. Now, you're not going to book someone out 4 days, 5 days in advance. At max, at most, you're going to book them 3 days out. Okay, so only 3 days out. And the reason for that is because every single day that goes by and you aren't engaging with them or you're giving them time to hop on that call, you're just decreasing the show rate, okay? Because they have time to think about it, they have a bunch of worries, and they even forget about it. That's where things go wrong. So we need to make sure that you book them as soon as possible. I always recommend you do live transfers. I've never had any sort of bad experience with a live transfer. What's a live transfer? Is your appointment setter's talking to them, and all of a sudden you say, hey, closer, are you ready to go? Like, can you take this guy? And boom, you transfer them into that Zoom call or whatever the process is, and you close them right then and there. That is going to be the best because their interest is at the peak. They just saw your ad, right? They had the most interest. They fill out a form, did whatever they had to do, book a call, and now you just transfer them, live transfer to a booked call, right? That's where you get the best responses. Now, within this, the reason I say 6 emails a day is if they're 3 days out at max, they'll have a total of 18 emails. Within that, they'll have about 3 to 4 reminders that are automated in the emails. Oh, what the hell happened here? Let's jump back down. right? So they'll have 3 to 4 actual reminders within that. And from there, essentially, these emails are value dense. They're handling objections. They're handling types of questions, second layer questions, expectations. They're showing results. They are showing your buyer everything that they would typically have questions about, doubts, concerns. Every single email answers all of that, okay? As well, they're very personalized to the size of business. You can't talk to a guy that's only doing $1 million a year the same that you talk to the guy doing $10 million plus a year, right? They're not the same people. They don't have the same problems, and nor do they care about the same things. From here, you will have an iMessage that also goes out. Once someone books a call, your sales rep needs to be contacting these people immediately, sending out a personalized video, okay? The personalized video, the personalized sales videos, they sell a shit ton, and they will make sure you get the highest quality people on there, right? Super simple. You just get your phone out, take a quick video, make sure you look presentable. Don't have your sales reps with laundry, their bed in the background. You can't have that stuff, right? It's got to look nice and presentable. You're a big company. In their eyes, you want them to see you as a big company, a professional company, more important. They have to see that. If they don't, they're not going to take you seriously. They're not going to show up to the call. They're not going to respond to you, right? They're going to see you guys. It's like a first impression. You need to make a great first impression. So to do that, you got to look presentable, nice collar shirt, right? Make it look like your sales team has the highest class. And from that, you just let them know, hey, I'm so-and-so. Want to put a face to the name? I'll be taking the call with you tomorrow, blah, 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 right? All looks good. Let's jump on the call. See you then. That's what the kind of videos you'll be sending out and shooting to them. From there, the SMS is the simple automations. Those are going to be sent out along with the emails to guess, and just remind them. Don't try to make these look like a human's talking to them. People know nowadays when it comes from a green text, it's typically automated. As well, if they're not too responsive, we call them. We hit them up on the cell phone. Again, just to get them back and engaged, show them that you're a real person. If you do this correctly, you will have a higher than 80% show rate, and that is not an 8, higher than 80% show rate, and from that, you can take this sales script that we have with all of the inner circle guys. But if you don't do this correctly, your show rate is probably going to be in and around somewhere. I've seen it down to that. I've seen worse. 30%. So you're going to need to make sure that you are doing everything correctly within the sales system to get them on the call. And from there, you have to have the correct sales process when you actually get them on the call. If you don't, this was all just a big waste of time. So this is just the start of our sales script. We have about 7 to 8 different sections within the sales script to make sure that these people are so bought in. And when you get to the end of the call there and you pitch your price, there's nothing but, okay, how much does it cost? Let's get ready to go, right? That's what you want. Again, from there, you're going to have the onboarding sequence. Now, within the onboarding, obviously, you have your different price structures, low ticket, high ticket, plus retainer. You have your high ticket plus rev share. And from that, typically, if you are with one of the guys in the inner circle, you're doing something like this because we're talking to big qualified guys and we don't talk to people who only want to do low ticket deals. So once you get your closed deal, what's going to happen? So the first 5 to 7 days are the most important. What is your client feeling? Okay, well, your client is typically going to feel, let me just get the marker out here. Your client is typically going to be feeling nervous, right? Why? Well, they just spent a shit ton of money. They don't really know, other than the sales call, what to expect, right? You got to set the right expectations. So how is the client feeling? Well, they're feeling very nervous. They're feeling impressionable, okay, and very apprehensive. Now, what the hell does this all mean? Within the first 5 to 7 days, you need to give your clients that, holy shit, this was the right decision, right? These guys are killers. I can see myself getting to 100,000, a million, 10 million this year, right? They have to see that. And they have to see it very quickly. Within the first 5 to 7 days, they should already be onboarded. Your call they should typically, just like a sales call, within the first 3 days, they need to be onboarded. You can't have it go long to 4 days, to 5 days, to 7 days. If you have a week out and you're onboarding them, I'll tell you right now, that buyer's remorse has already kicked in, and these guys you're going to hate that because the buyer's remorse will eat up someone's entire, when it comes to buyer's remorse, it'll eat up everything that they ever believed. If they got on that sales call and they bought and they thought like, holy shit, this is amazing. Well, if you haven't onboarded them, that buyer's remorse is going to come into play, and they're going to say, oh, is this the right decision? Am I doing the right thing? Or should I just get a refund? Like, that's going to kick in, and it happens very quickly. So you need to make sure that your team is engaged. From there, what happens, okay? So this is what they should be seeing and what they should be thinking after the 5 to 7 days. So I can see the path to success, the reason I bought the service program in the first place. They can see that, right? If they don't see this in the first 5 to 7 days, you're not in good position. Number 2, I really like who I'm working with on the emotional side, their perspective on us, the team, the company, the process, right? They have to see that. They see, oh my God, after the sales call, the entire team introduced themselves. They told me like, welcome in, like you're in good hands. They really felt and made sure the client felt good, right? He's like, holy fuck, that was a good decision. So that's good. And number 3 here, you want your client to think they had the full confidence in the fact that this is the team that will get me exactly where I want to go. And that is to essentially show them, hey, that's good, right? You're getting the client to feel that this guy is the person, this is the team that's going to get me to where I want to go. I made a good decision. So after the first 5 to 7 days, these 3 things need to be checked off, okay? And if not, you'll kick in buyer's remorse. So from there, the sales team, okay, they have to have strong communication between the sales team and the fulfillment team. If you don't, there's going to be a huge disconnection. So let's explain the first steps here. So number 1, set expectations. If you don't set the correct expectations, you're going to have a bad client. Now, 2 different companies can set the expectations with the same results, okay? But one does it like this. One will set the expectations, okay, with the fact that, hey, in the first 7 days, dude, you're going to be making like $100,000. Like, you're going to get so many clients. You're working with the best team. I'm telling you right now, like, the experience you're about to have is truly going to be amazing, right? You're not going to have any sort of experience like this ever again. Why does this keep doing this? And from that, dude, like, you're going to make a shit ton of money, okay? So that's one company. The other company says, look, Dorian, look, I want to be fully transparent with you here. Like, you're going to make a lot of money with us. Don't doubt it. Like, we'll make sure you're making money, okay? But I want you to understand something. Money isn't going to come immediately. You're not going to get rich quick here. This is business. Nothing's guaranteed, right? What's going to take to you making a lot of money with us is following everything that we give you. All the recommendations, everything that we tell you to get done. The quicker you get it done, the quicker we implement these things, the faster you'll see results. Okay. Now, you're not going to make $100,000, whatever the top amount of money they can make with you. You're not going to be making that instantly. Now, don't get me wrong. We're going to make sure you get there. Okay. You're going to be making those $100,000 months. I'm not going to tell you it's going to be this month. It might not be next month. It might be the month after, right? But I'll let you know that when you listen to us, when you implement the things that we suggest you implement, you will get to where you want to be, and we will assure you get there. Okay, as long as you work with us, as long as you follow our recommendations, our guidance, the things that we give to you, you will see success. Okay, that's the 2 different types of expectations there. On both of those expectations, I told them that they're both going to make a shit ton of money. But the one, I told him in the first 7 days, he's going to make a shit ton of money, right? And the other guy, I told him, look, man, it could literally be the 3rd month, and you're going to be making all that money, but you're going to have to kind of suffer here. You're going to have to put in the fucking work. You're going to have to listen to us, listen to our recommendations. If you don't, you're not going to get there, right? So that's number 1, setting the right expectations. So every step along the way, we need to remind the client of expectations, or you'll have an ongoing issue. Once you collect the payment and sign the agreement, right, you're setting expectations. Throughout the sales call, you're setting expectations. Once you get people to go through the onboarding, you're setting expectations again. Onboarding call, you set expectations. You always set the expectations going forward. You always have to, okay? As well, you need to get client excited and ensure they made the right decision, what to say. Awesome. While you're doing that, let me get your Slack channel set up so we can get you hit the ground running, right? Now, when the hell you say this? When they click payment and sign the agreement, you'll be saying things like this, okay? Again, you're just reassuring them that they made the right decision. You're getting them in the good mood. They just made a great decision. Let them know that. Let them know they're in good hands, right? In the meantime, while you're making a payment or while you're signing stuff, let me get you signed up into the group chat. Let me get you welcomed in. Let's get the whole team saying, hey, man, we just got another killer. Like, hype these people up. Let them know they made a good decision. And obviously, the reason I'm telling you this because once they collect payment and sign contract. A lot of people sit there and just awkward silence. So be it. If you want to do that, go ahead. Me, I'd like to do two things at once, right? Well, while you're collecting payment, let's get you set up for this, right? Signing agreements, let's get you set up for this. So again, just makes the process a little bit easier. Now, obviously, there's a lot more steps to this onboarding and the fulfillment. Okay, so the sales team has to be in strong communication with the fulfillment team. If you don't, what's going to happen? And I can speak from experience. I get handed away from the sales team to the fulfillment team. And it seems like these fucking idiots have not talked to each other. They have no clue what I've done, my experience in the past, what the hell I told the sales guy. And from that, you get a very, it's like a bad representation of the company, right? It just comes off in a bad way. It's like when you get on a sales call. I'm sure you have clients or prospects like this before, right? They talk to your appointment setter and they say, hey man, like I've already told the other guy this. Like, why do I gotta tell you again, right? That's what it feels like. You need to make sure that there's strong communication every step of the way. The appointment setter to the sales team, from the sales team to the fulfillment, and so on, back and forth, right? The fulfillment has to tell the sales team, the marketing team. You guys all have to be strong in connection, or else the entire thing's gonna flop, right? The fulfillment team needs to be getting clients. The fulfillment team needs to be telling the sales team the types of results they're getting. That way, the sales team just is so bought in on the process. It just works backwards, right? In tandem. You guys need to work together. So the sales team and the fulfillment have to work together. Now the fulfillment, right? Understand the client. So once the new client comes through, the sales team is typically going to put in some audio messages, any forms, anything that the fulfillment team would need to see success and understand that client. You're going to do that, right? Number 2 is confirming all clients' files are made, everything is set up, and that these people are ready to hit the ground rolling. They have everything for the onboarding. They have every single type of material needed to see success. You need to make sure that's happening, right? So the sales team needs to update the fulfillment team on what happened on the sales call, what these people are struggling with, what their goals are. That way the fulfillment team can get on calls and say, hey man, like how's it going? And make it seem like they already know the guy. Right, I see here, like you're talking to John. John told me all about how like you were doing this before, you did that. You're looking to get to this number. Like that's wicked, man. Right? He also told me like you've already been doing this, right? To try to hit that goal. Imagine saying that to someone. Imagine someone said that to you, and that was the process. It's like, holy fuck, this guy knows everything about me. I haven't even met the guy. Right? I just hopped on the call, and this guy knows everything from me about me. Right, so that's the point of that. We want to make everything personalized. Everything throughout the entire process, from the ads to the sales to the onboarding to the fulfillment, is fully dialed in and personalized to that person, and makes them just feel super welcomed in. And from that, you guys will see a tremendous amount of results. The client retention will stick, and again, the expectations will be there. So they're not going to get pissed at you if you have one bad month, or if you start off a little slow, because you told them to expect that. Okay, guys, so that is the processes that you have to implement if you want to get above $30,000 a month, right? So the onboarding, the sales systems, as well as the paid traffic and marketing campaigns. So again, guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And from that, if you are looking to join the inner circle, if you are a coach, consultant, agency owner above that $30,000 a month, then you guys need to click the links down below. Again, everyone in the inner circle has 3 calls a week with myself, from the small group calls. These aren't 50 people, 100 people in these calls. Every single question is answered and made sure that it's answered in the correct way with no bullshit answers. As well, you have one-on-one call every single week with myself. We can go over absolutely anything. If it's your ad campaigns that you want to look over, if it's onboarding, fulfillments, like client results, we go over everything together, and everything is super personalized to you guys to make sure that you are hitting those goals. It's not one size fits all cookie cutter shit. As well, you have access to all the SOPs, the ad strategies, all the systems, everything that I use within my own agency and within the guys that are doing over $30,000 a month. Okay, guys, so that being said, the links are in the description. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.